You're listening to the New Artist Workshop.
Metro.
Yes, sir?
The remote.
The goat?
The remote.
The remote? Oh, I thought he said the goat.
Hello and welcome back to your favorite podcast. Now that's what I call a franchise. I'm Peter Mancuso.
And I'm sick.
So am I.
I'm just kidding. And I'm Viviana Metzger, and this is the show where Peter and I pick a film franchise and go through every single installment. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
And to be clear, we're defining a franchise as a series of films with at least 4 entries. So Viviana, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the 1999 film Muppets from Space. And this is your one and only spoiler warning, so if you haven't watched the movie, go do that before listening to this episode.
Yippee-ki-yay.
And here's the letterbox blurb.
Well, Viviana was feeling good, and then I took a shower, and I left her alone, and then I came back, and now she's like...
The mucus is back.
The mucus is back. We've been sick for like a week.
Here's the letterbox blurb. When Gonzo's breakfast cereal tells him that he's the descendant of aliens from another planet, his attempts at extraterrestrial communication get him kidnapped by a secret government agency, prompting the Muppets to spring into action. It's hard to believe Gonzo's story at first, but Kermit and friends soon find themselves on an epic journey into outer space filled with plenty of intergalactic misadventures.
They don't go to space
That
once.
is not true.
They don't go to space once. As a kid, I feel like there's like a category of movie when you're growing up as a kid. I didn't need to say as a kid. You're always growing up as a kid. But like movies that like have like what like slightly like one word you always forget. Like I feel like people would say Muppets in space all the time. Like maybe because sometimes I don't think this is the case with this movie, but like sometimes with movies like it will be named Muppets in space for like another region. Mm-hmm. So like for example, Zootopia in like Europe is Zoopolis or something. Like it's not called Zootopia. I've heard there's like some reason why.
Well,
My point is I always feel like I want to say Muppets in space, but I know that that's not true.
That makes sense, and now that you say that, reading the name Muppets from Space, it kind of gives away the whole thing.
Well, I mean, they give it away.
Indicating that Muppets are from space, or at least this Muppet is from space.
Well, I mean, they give that away pretty... I'm sure that was in the trailers. Like, Gonzo thinks he's an alien. Like, it's... The twist is that he actually is an alien, I guess. But...
I know.
Spoiler alert, we didn't even do the... Oh, no, we did do the spoiler warning. That's right, I'm all kinds of sick. I'm all kinds of daffy today.
We always do a spoiler warning.
We always do a... This is your warning. Your only spoiler warning. We did say your only
Past
one.
the expiration date. It's spoiled.
It's spoiled. Consider it spoiled. So some basic info here. So this is directed by Tim Hill, who I don't even really know what he had done before.
Related to Faith Hill?
I'm gonna guess no.
Okay.
But there's a non-zero chance. If someone ever says there's a non-zero chance, that means it's near zero. No one ever says, like, technically 83% is a non-zero chance.
There are more people in Hollywood that are related than you might think.
I believe Tim Hill is a white man.
So is Faith Hill.
I'm thinking Faith Evans.
No!
Oh, okay.
Faith
I mean, maybe.
Hill, the lady, she sings "Where Are You
now I know
Christmas," and I'm pretty sure she was married to Tim McGraw.
It doesn't say. It says he's related to. His uncle is George Roy Hill, who is an actor.
Nope. Actor.
Exactly. But his movies, like he had only done like one other movie before this. He did a lot of TV. And he was a writer on the SpongeBob SquarePants movie from 2004. But again, like not an obvious choice, like within the family, so to speak. I don't mean literally the family the way like Brian Henson is like literally Jim Henson's son. But
No, within the Muppet sphere
yeah, like,
of people.
Exactly. I don't know
Frank
what his
Oz.
connection was, like how he even like got on their radar to do this. Because from what I'm looking at, it's not even like he did like a random episode of Sesame Street or
Sorry
Crackle
to
Rock.
this man. I don't know who
Sorry
this
to
man
this
is.
man.
I don't know who this man is.
Written by Jerry Jewell, as well as Joey Mazzarino and Ken Kaufman. Joey Mazzarino. That's a great
Mazzarino!
Italian
How you
name.
doing, Mazzarino?
Produced by Brian Henson this go around. Distributed by Sony Pictures, releasing. So, so notably, the last two theatrical have been from Disney. I don't know if it was the chicken and the egg. I don't know if they were making this movie, Disney passed on it, or if Disney said we're not doing another. So like, well, okay, we'll make this movie then. I don't know which came first. I cannot find like any background info.
Did Disney own Sony at this point? No.
Disney did not, nor does own Sony.
Yeah, so why did you say...
Because Disney distributed their last two movies. Christmas Carol and Treasure Island.
Okay.
So you would think that they would
Oh, Buena Vista, right?
keep
Okay.
distributing.
I got you.
I could not find any background info on Wikipedia about this. The only the sections where I normally would pull the background info, it was like disconnected, like it almost felt like trivia points. So I put a lot of that into the trivia. Oh, I completely forgot to add trivia. Oh, phooey. Hold on. Maybe we'll do some live trivia. I've never. This is like episode
What?
something 100 and something.
Oh, you have trivia on here?
Yeah, but that's just from the Wikipedia.
Yeah. What else?
But you would normally go to IMDb and pull funny trivia bits. Oh my frick! I completely. This is
You did not prepare.
no, because I'm sick. This is episode 136. So 1 out of 131.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
The trivia. I know.
Let's pause and then we'll start again.
Well, we won't have to start again, but we could just pause it and then I can just like once we get up to that point, I could do the trivia. Sorry, listeners, you're getting some inside baseball here. Actually, you know what? Okay, why don't we, Lily? Yeah, let's stop for 5 minutes and let me add trivia. So, listeners,
All right, we'll be right back.
well, to you, it'll be instantaneous. And we're back. Okay, sorry, everybody. So, it literally means nothing for you, but I now have added trivia to the script. Phew. Okay. So, anyway, what we were talking about is that Sony released this, distributed this, I should say. Again, I couldn't really find a lot of info on Wikipedia, and everything I could find was more like trivia bits. So I don't have any info on like why Disney didn't do this. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if it's a chicken and the egg situation where like did they make a more kind of, I don't want to call this adult, but it's not as like kid oriented the way Christmas Carol and Treasure Island were.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, but it's still like kiddie, like
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not like, it's like I feel like those were aimed at a much younger audience.
yeah.
Whereas this like feels like it's a little more like, especially with like the classic funk soundtrack, like it feels like it's trying to aim towards a more like Gen X audience.
It's amazing.
This movie is unfairly
So
maligned.
many
Yes,
funky songs.
so many songs from which so many songs that I didn't realize.
House.
Not that I didn't think they were. What?
I'm listening. No, Brick House.
Brick House.
That's what Max was saying on Wizards of Waverly Place. He would just go around being Brick House, Brick House.
Oh my goodness. So many songs in this that like this was my first exposure to them, and then I would hear them elsewhere, like in the wild, and be like, huh,
In the wild.
"It's the song from the Muppet movie." I mean, not the Muppet movie, the Muppets from Space. This was released in July of 1999. What a great summer blockbuster!
I was 1 month old.
That's right, you were. It was July 14th, I think it said it came out. It had a budget of $24 million and only grossed $22.3. So it didn't even double the budget to account for marketing and advertising. This was just a straight up flop. If you could even call it a bomb.
Oif.
Very, very.
I don't know why. I mean, no.
Well, we'll get into it.
I'm sure it didn't really connect with audiences, but I think it's pretty funky, and I think the soundtrack is pretty inviting to, let you kind of be involved with the story, and you're like, okay, aliens, sure, ooh, funky.
Well, why don't I just tell you now? Let's see, where is it? My
previous experience.
Well, hold on. I was just gonna give you an answer to.
Oh, you have an answer?
I found in the trivia. I don't know if it's the answer, but it's I think an important piece of info. According to Brian Henson, the Jim Henson Company originally planned to release this film around February 2000, but Columbia, which was like it's like the Sony, right? They originally wanted it to be one of their big summer movies, so they rushed production, and by consequence, there was less time for advertising.
Oh.
Not to mention, it also competed. I don't know if it came out the same day around the same time, but it also had to compete with Inspector Gadget, the Matthew Broderick adaptation, which is not like a really well liked or beloved movie, but that has
people love Inspector Gadget. He's so silly.
So that's not like the only. I don't think had this released in February 2000 that this would have been a big smash hit either. But I think
that was really important back then. Like without the internet or like, like social media and stuff, like that was a bad idea.
Exactly.
You need time for word of mouth marketing.
I love the Muppets. They are not a big summer movie.
A big summer blowout.
They're like a spring or a fall. They should be an award season. They should be up there with all the big Oscar contenders, I feel. But yeah, previous experience.
Why don't you go?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know why I always ask you first, because typically, like, mine is more chronologically first.
Yeah.
And oftentimes with a lot of these, I introduce it to you, so like my experience kind of dovetails into yours.
Well, it's very sweet of you, but yeah, why don't you?
Well, I'm trying to let women go first. I'm trying to let women have the center stage. I'm trying to center underrepresented voices here on this show.
Yeah, I think it's really funny when you're like, I'm gonna sit my white ass down. And
yes. I was listening to a Jay-Z song. Vivian was like, "Why are you listening to this?" I was like, "Cause I'm sitting my white ass down and listening. I'm centering underrepresented voices." Though his is very represented at this point. I should be listening to other people. But
I want to clarify, not just because he was listening to Jay-Z. It was the particular song. It was not
the story of OJ. I'm learning.
You can listen to Jay-Z. That's not the problem.
I'm learning about the ways that the black community subdivides itself as a means of self-preservation and stratification, so that way they can feel better about themselves because they're not like those black people.
Well, it was just, us sitting at a red light with him just repeating the N-word. And
not me. I wasn't saying it. I wasn't. No, make it very clear. Jay-Z was saying it.
And I was like...
The way you made it sound like I wasn't saying it.
I'm like, we're driving around Cranston. This is,
Cranston, where I am.
This is...
I was like, it's fine. Then we were at a stoplight for a really long time. I was like, okay, maybe I'll turn it. Maybe I'll turn it down. It was like the light knew.
And all the windows were down.
And everyone else's windows were down. So it was, well, as Kermit says in this, I was getting down with my bad self. Okay. So my previous experience, I can't say for sure what was the first Muppet movie I ever saw. Right? Because, again, human consciousness is not like a binary...
Who could?
Well, I mean, you could say that about, like, any movie. Because, like, okay, even if your parents showed you a movie when you were, like, 3 months old, like... Consciousness is not a binary, like, you're either conscious or you're not conscious. Like, it's, like, a spectrum of kind of, like, developing consciousness. So it's, like... I can't say for sure, like, my parents didn't show me, like, a VHS tape of the Muppet movie or something. But... I'm betting that this was like the first one I owned and would watch over and over and over and over and over. Because, I mean, the timing just works out because it came out in 1999. And I was born in 97, so it would not be implausible for my parents to get me like the VHS of this.
Yeah. I think my first in-theater movie was How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
That's right. Mine was also another Muppet related. Mine was Elmo and Garfield. The Adventures of Elmo and Garfield.
That's right.
And my mom has a picture of the screen.
The trash queen.
So I'm imagining like the big flash went off. Like, but no. So this was the one. This was like in a lot of ways my first, like for practical purposes, my first Muppet movie. It was the one I watched the most. I probably watched the earliest. Right. Well, I mean, just like in like an obvious way.
Yeah.
The Muppet movie then usurped it once that Kermit 50th birthday and a DVD release came out in 2005. Then I got that and some other one, right? But I think And I don't even think it was I had never seen it before that DVD release. But my point is, like, this was the one I think was, like, my earliest one. So I definitely have a soft spot for it. And a nostalgia for it in a way that, like, elder millennials probably have for Christmas Carol. And I'm like, why do people like this movie so much? So maybe give it 10 years and this movie will have a higher score on Letterboxd. Because all of the Gen Z people who are because generations are also, talking about, speaking of things are arbitrary. Those are also made up.
Of course, yeah.
Because, like, what makes someone so different? Like I have more in common with someone born, like, if I'm on the cusp, like, let's say the cusp of millennials, like, 79 to 80.
Yeah.
Theoretically, by this whole generations thing, I should have more in common with someone born in 1972 than 1980. That's just preposterous.
Yeah.
But, if that being said, I would be what you would call...
be Gen X. Millennials.
No, I'm saying... Some say Gen X ends in 79 and then millennial starts, like, 1980.
Oh, yes.
But I'm saying, like, you have more in common... If you're born in 79, you have more in common with someone born in 1980 than you do with someone born in 1972. But the 72 person, you're both Gen X.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's all arbitrary, it doesn't matter. But I would be a zillennial, because I'm, like, right on the cusp.
I'm very firmly a zillennial. Because, like...
No, you're probably more Gen Z. Well, but here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It all is meaningless. But the point is that there are some people who are definitely one because there's different... Yeah. Because here's the thing. Not only... Even if we all agreed what years were what generations, it would still have the problems
that I just... It's like social consciousness. And that was the early 2000s, but with the spillover of the 90s and then early 2000s.
Well, what I was going to say is, even if we all agreed on, like, what years constituted what generations, you would still have the problems that I just described. Yeah. But that's the thing. There's no agreement. It's not scientific. Yeah. So, like, if you look up, like, what counts as millennial, you could click on one link and it would tell you one thing, and then click on another link. So there are certain people that their year is always in it. Mm-hmm. For me, some things would say I'm Gen Z, some things would say I'm millennial.
They go to 97 for Gen Z?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always the one. They cut off millennial at 97.
No, I've seen some Gen Z being like 95 to...
What? 95?
So I'm kind of on the cusp. If you really had to say one or the other, I would say millennial because I have an older sister. Yeah. So I would get a lot of her... So you're weird, though, because you have your mom was younger, so, like, you got a lot of her culture, but you also have really young sisters. So you also got a lot of Gen Z stuff that I have no idea about.
Yeah.
Like, you knew about Descendants. But that was definitely past your era. Like, that wasn't, like, something you grew up
I was
with.
a full-blown, like, teenager, probably.
Right? So, anyway, all of this... Why did I bring this up? Oh, because maybe once people my age, more and more of us go on Letterboxd, they'll have more nostalgia for this movie. But as it stands right now, though it doesn't have as low of a score as I thought it would.
Why is it called Letterboxd?
Because... You want to know?
Yeah, what does that mean?
So, Letterboxd, the way they spell it without the ED at the end, it's just D, comes from Letterboxd with an ED. I believe Criterion created it. Not the website.
Oh, is that where you keep votes?
No. So, Letterboxd is like exactly what it sounds like, a mailbox. But it's like the tiny little slit, right? Yeah. So now we're gonna... This is such a tangent, but this is such an interesting story.
A short thing?
No, but it's an interesting story. You say this, and then, like, 6 months from now, you'll be like, well, actually, you'll be quoting what I'm saying. Because you'll think it's cool. So shut the fuck up. Sit your brown ass down and listen. Okay?
Oh my God.
For so long, movies, the standard was 4:3, the aspect ratio. TV comes along. Films and movie theaters want to differentiate themselves. So widescreen had existed, but that's really in the 50s and 60s when you start getting the cinema scope, the big epic widescreen movies. Yeah. But even if it wasn't epic, eventually just became the thing where the standard was a roughly 16:9 ratio. Sometimes it was wider, but bright, but 16:9 is kind of the standard. But people's TVs were still like 4:3 at home. But this wasn't an issue because there was no such thing as home media.
Yeah.
But then you get video, cassette tapes, right? And what they initially do is they do what's called pan and scan. Where sometimes they wouldn't even do pan and scan, they would just crop it. Yeah. Which I argue is a bastardization because it's like you're losing, like, part of filmmaking is composition. Yeah. So, like, even if there was nothing important on those end pieces, it still adds to your understanding of the image by having the negative space. So, but then you would also have pan and scan. So basically what that would be is like, let's say there was a shot that you couldn't just crop. Like if it was like a really wide shot with two people talking, they would like be on the person talking, and then they would like pan over, like digitally create a pan over to that person. Criterion started. When did the Criterion collection start? That's a really good question. I want to say like the 80s or maybe the 90s. Started in 1984. Criterion Collection. This is a home video distribution company. Here's what Wikipedia says: that quote focuses on licensing, restoring, and distributing important classic contemporary films.
Yes.
Right. They started obviously with video, right? But if they care about film as like an art form, they didn't want to compromise that, so they created what called letterboxing, and that's basically the black bars, right? Because basically, if you just put the full widescreen image on a 4x3, because there's an interesting story behind it. Anyway, so letterboxed became, so that's why when you would then buy videos and then DVDs, if it said widescreen, but most people only had a 4x3 TV, that's why you would have the black bars. Eventually we started getting widescreen TVs, so now there's no black bars. But they literally had to market full screen options because people didn't like the black bars. Because the image was now smaller in a sense. But it's because it's like you're fitting the whole. And Family Guy had a gag about that, like Lawrence of Arabia on TV.
Oh, that
that
the original, was the one that I was thinking about.
It was like a tiny. You couldn't even see anything. Like the gag was like it was like literally a thin strip.
That's literally the movie I was thinking about that you cannot see in like a regular like box TV. Like,
well, you could. They did. It
would be incorrect.
It's just wrong. It's just morally wrong. To show, well, we have the modern version, so you might think, oh, well, that's great now. We solved it. Nope. Because the modern version of that is if you have a film, like an IMAX film, something like Oppenheimer, something like a huge portion of that movie was shot on IMAX 70mm film, which has almost a vertical aspect ratio. When you buy it on even Blu-ray, the best they'll do is just fill the whole 16:9 TV.
Yeah.
Like, I want to have black bars on the side. Because if you were to watch a full screen movie on a normal modern day TV, you would have black bars on the sides. And that's why we had that issue where we bought a copy of Anastasia DVD, but it was an early ass copy.
It was a letterbox of a letterbox.
No, it was the top and bottom black bars were burned into the video file. So the video file was 4x3. But we watched it on a modern TV, so it was basically black bars all around. So
that was funny.
So the modern version of this problem is like all these IMAX movies that have these and again, it's not just like, oh, it's just cool. Like, it's part of the composition. Like,
stop changing aspect ratios.
Like, unless I can find on Pirates Bay or like torrent it or something like a version of that. Like, I will never see, unless they re-release it, I will never see that version of Oppenheimer ever again. So that's really sad. Because again, that's part of the composition. Yeah. Part of the composition, especially with a movie like Oppenheimer, because it's all so much of it is close-ups. Yeah. The human face is perfect for IMAX because it's like a vertical, it's portraiture framed or aspect ratio. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, that's why it's Letterboxd, the website, because it's okay. You're allowed to go on a rant about something random that happened to you at the post office that literally has nothing to do with this. It's just like I say a word and remind you, but I can't talk about things related to films. That's too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we weren't doing that anymore. Sorry.
It's that rule. Like that's not even a rule I can enforce because that's going to be 80% of the things you say. So
okay, never mind.
But anyway, so that's why it's called Letterboxd. It's to play on that.
Why would they name it after that? Isn't that a bad thing?
No, Letterboxd is like a thing.
Ideal thing.
No, because I think the idea is that if you watched a movie and it was Letterboxd, it's like you're watching the true version. It's like a cinephile. Cinephiles sought out the Letterboxd version. Right? That's why it's called Letterboxd, because it's like the frame is like the little rectangle. It's like a letterbox. It was the idea. But anyway, so that was my previous experience with this. Always liked it. Again, I've ebbed and flowed with it, but I always thought it was a very funny movie.
Yes.
But in your experience, dovetails with me because I'm pretty sure I showed you this.
Yes, you showed me this. I don't remember when.
That's what I'm trying to think, because with you and me, there's like very distinct periods of our life.
Sometime.
I don't know when. It was definitely before.
Was it early 2021 or was it 2020 or something?
I don't know when, but I know it has to be before a certain date because of the funny story that I don't know if you're going to tell.
Anyways, well, we watched it and it was great.
Yeah, so years later, or perhaps
very
months
funny.
later.
Yeah, months, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking months, or else it wouldn't have been so on my mind.
I don't know. No, I don't
or
know.
Else
if that's true. I feel like you still would have.
I would have picked Shark Tale. Singular
favorite
tail.
movie. You don't even know the name of it. I mean, not necessarily, because you could have just walked over to our movie shelf and just been looking and then been like, "Oh yeah, this movie we watched 18 months ago or whatever."
No, I feel like we had watched it recently because, and I thought it was so funny. That's why I wanted to show them. Anyways,
her family came to. Do you want me to tell it, or do you gotta tell it?
Why would you tell it?
I don't know, because sometimes you get distracted with your stories.
I know. Well, I'll try. Then you can fill in the blanks. Anyways, so I was graduating college. It was 2021. We were not, doing the traditional thing in person because of COVID. It's New York, all that stuff. So my family came over to our apartment for a little celebration and to watch my virtual graduation. And afterwards...
I was very proud of you, but it was a very sad and pitiful event. Just like sitting around watching like them like read your name.
I'm like, oh look, I'm on the screen. Okay.
Like on our TV, like yeah.
And not choir, but there was like
they had like the song
acting group or whatever, and they like did the group song of all their like different frames. Anyways, afterwards we're like, okay, we're gonna order some food. We're gonna, we should watch a movie. We should watch a funny movie. And I said, oh, we should watch Muppets from Space. So
I have to make this even better. It was the night before. So like your family had just come into our apartment from traveling. And we had made like a taco bar.
No, this was the day
This was the night before.
This was the night before?
Yes, because the next day, that evening of your thing, your parents went away and your sister stayed over. So it was not the same night.
Oh,
it was the night before with the taco bar. So they'd literally been in our apartment for maybe 20 minutes. And they're like, oh, you want to watch a movie while we eat? And Viviana's like, yeah.
Yes, wait, they
pick a movie.
Didn't they suggest it or something? No, I don't know.
In any case, Viviana's like, oh, let's watch Muppets from Space. Now, I know Viviana's family. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna really like this movie. Not that they're gonna hate it. They're just like not gonna. They're gonna be like confused.
They're not gonna vibe with it. But
we only watched about 10 minutes of it.
I wanted to share joy with them. They did not experience joy. They just experienced great indifference. And so it was a flop, and we did not finish the whole movie. And
I don't think we even got like 10, 15 minutes into it. I feel like we turned it off.
A little disappointed. But I think that was the last time we watched it, honestly.
Yes.
I don't remember
You and I. You mean you and I, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember watching it at the time. Anyways, so finally got to watch it through again. Spoiler alert, fantastic.
Yeah. Let's move into what we thought.
What we thought. Okay.
This is, like, this term, like, means something specific to the neurodivergent community, so I don't want to be. I'm not even being offensive about it, but I just want to use it casually.
What are you gonna say about my people?
Well, I'm adjacent, I guess. But I was gonna say, like, this is like my comfort film.
Your comfort film?
Yeah, like, or not even like my only. Like, this is like there's only one, and it's this movie. But like, this is a movie like I can never hate it for any of its flaws.
It's like Shark Tale.
No, that's a very hateable movie.
I love that movie. It's so silly.
But with this, like, it's just like a good comfort. Like, I will say, it's kind of dragged a little in that last third. I was feeling it, but maybe it was also because we were sick, and Sunday when we watched it is really when we started to feel like really more sick.
Yeah.
At least I did. But it started to drag a little. But especially that first third, it was just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just there's just something. Again, there's something about nostalgia. I mean, there's a reason why fascism exists, right? Because there's a nostalgia for an older time period. But like,
that was random.
Well, I mean, it's all related. So we have to make sure, like, the pipeline to, like, being mad that Disney ruined Star Wars with woke to becoming a neo-Nazi is like a pipeline. Like, that is a pipeline. Because it's about nostalgia,
Good
because you
Lord.
want things to be a certain way how it used to be. And usually that's code for whiter, maler.
I'm sorry, guys, but I just have to say that
She has to say it, everybody.
I know we watch hours long videos about it. We try to speculate everything. We want to know about the Star Wars world, okay? Everyone wants to know about this world that George has
Okay.
created.
Okay.
However, we have seen historically that was not well thought out by George Lucas.
Yes.
And therefore, there are contradictions, there are things that do not make sense, and then there are some things that are just weird. And I think maybe people would not be as upset if they just stopped trying to, like, make it their whole personality to, like, know all the background details of this world. And I'm not trying to bash on anybody, but it's like the hardcore people, you know?
They gotta go touch grass. That's the phrase you're looking
like,
for.
I need you to come back, right? Because then I know about that pipeline. And those are the people that are on the path to be in that pipeline.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because it's all
Or, like,
rooted in this idea
originalists or whatever, and, like, you know. So,
yeah.
you know, it's okay if we don't know the voltage of Sepulva's, you know,
Pod racer,
pod racer, like something, you know, like crazy like that.
That's Viviana's hot take about Star Wars in our Muppets from Space episode.
But I do enjoy learning about it. That's the thing. That's
You
the
feed
gag.
into it!
That's the gag, is I love it. But also,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's not that deep. You don't need to hate people in real life
Yeah.
based off of this fantasy world.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Um,
Anyways, I don't know. I
You
feel
like this
like I should sit down.
are you still on Star Wars?
Metaphorically.
Or are we back to...
No, we're back to this.
Okay.
I feel I should sit down metaphorically because I'm already sitting down. But I should sit down with this because I'm really trying to think about it. But I'm really partial, and I feel that the soundtrack is clouding my judgment.
Just the soundtrack.
And well, it's just so funky, and it makes you happy and dance.
It makes you happy and dance. Yeah, like, I wrote it down, right? It is so funky. And, like, again, a weird, I don't even want to say weird, but a not obvious choice.
Right. But I think it works. So
Like, nothing
well.
about the story is very funky.
No, but
Like, it's not like there's, like, this kind of theme about it, where it's just, like, you could do this movie with any other soundtrack. It wouldn't be as good, but it's not like it gives you some kind of sense of the...
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's just an excuse to hear some of these songs.
I think it's just funky, and then it's, like, you know, close to space because it's, like, close to, you know, like the 60s and 70s, and people did drugs, and it's like space and funk, and it
Well,
just
it's like
works.
Parliament. It's like the funk group Parliament, Funkadelic, which like their whole thing. Well, one of their albums was Mothership. Like it's all like space themed.
Sometimes they did space stuff, right?
And that actually ties into one of the Letterboxd reviews.
Right,
When I was reading,
right.
when I was reading it, you heard me laugh.
It just makes sense. I don't know,
I
but
don't know why.
for some reason, this just works.
Well, you know what you gotta do? You have to try to be. You don't have to be impartial, but you have to be a little impartial.
I know I'm trying, but you know how, like, Treasure Island just didn't work? This just so works. It's so funny, too. It's so silly. I think because I get the humor in this one.
Because I understand.
Normally I'm confused, but this one is... I understand this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's great.
Well, I mean, I think you're touching on something. See, this is our
I think
role stuff here. Is that you say stuff and then I try to twist it into, like, being philosophical. Because I think what you're touching on is, like, the idea of something being more than the sum of its parts. that like on some level there's something about this movie that works for you that you can't point to and go, here's the thing. It's just like in concert, not in some, but in concert together.
Well, I'm trying to think. So, like, without the songs, I think it would be kind of a boring movie. Like, it's...
But then maybe it's not a good movie, then. Like,
who said it was a good movie? It's a fantastic movie, but it was a good film. It's a great...
But again, I've made this argument before. I don't like this argument of like, oh, well, it's objectively a bad film, but I like all these things. It's like, well, then you don't think it's a bad film. Like, if you think these things work really well, then...
I fundamentally disagree with you.
Well, then you're foolish because there's no objective measure.
There's
no objective value to any art.
You're foolish because there can be craftsmanship.
Yes, but that doesn't make it good or bad. That just means that exists. That craftsmanship is there. That doesn't make it good or bad.
Well, the knowledge of the craftsmanship is what is good, right? It's like, oh, this person knows what they're doing.
But what defines good craftsmanship? That's what I'm saying. It always goes back to
I guess knowing it, doing it.
But knowing what?
I don't know. Like, it's like Picasso drawing a goat on a napkin. Took me 40 years to draw that goat.
My point is like, what makes that, like, oh, like, well, it's because he's doing good cinematography, objectively. It's like, but what makes good cinematography? Well, he's just really good at it. It's like, yeah, good at what? Doing what you are saying is good cinematography.
No,
not you,
doing
but like someone.
But it connected. You know what it does.
My point is there's no objective or subjective. It's analyzing objective traits and subjectively evaluating how they work together in concert for you personally.
No, I think because there's a way to be, cinematography is visual storytelling, and you can do a lot with that. You can clearly tell a story in a silent film.
Yeah.
By the cinematography, with what you do, what you show, how you frame it. Mm-hmm. And that makes it good.
But what makes that good?
That makes it good storytelling in a way. It's not point blank. It's something that just innately clicks with us, that we understand visually as humans, that someone was able to convey to you.
Human. So it's because it's good to humans, i.e. it's through
it's understandable to humans. If you're able to... If you were
a dolphin, it wouldn't be good because it's not understandable to you.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Is that all subjective? No, it's through our subjective lens as human beings.
No, you damn fool.
I'm not a damn fool. This is just like basic philosophy.
No,
it cannot be objectively good because that would imply that you could objectively measure it with measurements. You can't. It's a subjective evaluation. Even if there's broad consensus, even if we all agree, it doesn't make it objective. It's still a universally agreed upon subjective point of view.
Okay.
Like, fundamentally, it is subjective.
Anyway,
let's talk about this movie. So, you liked this movie?
Anyways, yes. I think it helps move the story along. I think it helps, grabs you in
or is it
a little bit more. I suppose you could say that, but I think it just makes me more happy and then more receptive to
Would you say you liked the colors?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a point. Mm-hmm. They'd just be like, well, the music, I like the music. They go listen to the music.
I know.
I'm not even saying I don't like this movie. This is like one of my foundational texts. But I'm playing devil's advocate because
you're an asshole.
Because I am an asshole. That's 100% true. But also, that's one. But two, that's not, it's a very superficial, like, oh, I like the songs. Then go make a playlist on Spotify of all those songs and then listen to it.
I know, but it's the culmination of learning Gonzo's story and being an alien. And
he finally gets the spotlight because he's been like a focal person for the last two theatrical films. I keep saying theatrical because we also had the Muppet Classic Theater shoehorned in there. But he wasn't like the protagonist of those.
No.
And we didn't really get a sense of like his... Like, this film has a lot more... I think the thing with...
very clear with people labeling him as a whatever, so...
Well, I'm saying that this movie, I think, stands above a lot of over the last two theatrical films. Like, the other two 90s films. because this has a little more pathos to it. Whereas Treasure Island had 0.
Yeah.
And Christmas Carol had a lot, but it was from Michael Caine.
Yeah.
And he was a human character, and it was an adaptation. Like,
I'm sorry, you're what?
my cocaine.
Oh my god.
Not your cocaine, but my cocaine. My cocaine. You know? And so I feel like that's why this works a little bit more for me. Because, like, again, we can debate how well it's done. And this is going back to what I'm saying about it's subjective, but we can objectively say there is a focus on Gonzo. There is an attempt to do a character arc of some kind.
Yeah. I like Gonzo.
Though I was watching this time, I kind of like, I don't even know if it's a good character arc, though, because we don't really ever get an opportunity for, like, he so desperately wants to meet his family. Mm-hmm. But the film's climax essentially boils down to Gonzo choosing to stay with his Earth family.
Yes, of course.
But that idea was never posed until the end. Mm-hmm. Like, never thought the movie, is it like he desperately wants to leave his Earth family, and he has to realize over the course, like basically the resolution is that he's just happy to know where he comes from, and that's fine. But the film...
But then that's the caveat.
It feels like a thematic answer to a question that wasn't posed by the movie. It's like the opposite problem of Muppets Take Manhattan, which had a big thematic question. No, I know, but the movie never really suggests, like, he didn't want that anymore. He was ready to move on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like...
No, I know.
His culminating critical choice is a choice... It's an answer to a question that was never posed, is my point.
Well, I think if we look back, and the whole point was him being lonely, and he sought out knowing his origins and, you know, his family, where he comes from, in order to not be lonely. But then when he finds that out and is like, okay, well, like, here, come not be lonely, then he realizes, I'm not lonely. Yeah. I'm just different.
I think this is a simple fix.
There's just one of me, but my friends they still love me and go to secret government agencies to bust me out. I
think this... Again, like, this seems like really on the nose, and like maybe there's a better way to do this, but my initial thought, I think there's a very easy fix for this. At some point, when Gonzo is in communication with them, with the aliens, I feel like the cosmic fish would be too early. The talking through the sandwich feels too late. So maybe you need a different scene somewhere in between. But at some point, they make it clear, like, or not that we're doing this by force, but like, we're going to find you and we're going to bring you home. And Gonzo's like, oh, wait, like, oh, but can I bring my friends? And like, no, like, it's just for us Gonzonians or whatever, right? Like, so he's like, has this, like, conflict now. Well, I haven't finished explaining it. So now there's like, a conflict internally. But then he, like you described, like, they come and break him out from the thing, they rescue him. And maybe he says this, but because it's not framed this way, I didn't notice it or didn't register. Like, when he gets rescued, like... Instead of, because basically what he says is like, hooray, now it's time to go to Cape Doom. And they have like this whole thing about like, are you still on this thing? You could have flipped that dynamic around where it's like, not that he's like, I don't want to go to Cape Doom anymore, but he's just like, wow, you guys risked your lives for me. Like, it's like these little moments for him, like, we could see him wrestling with like this tension. So that at the end when he decides to stay, it answers a thematic question that was raised. Right? Again, but that's an easy fix. Like, it's, you know what I mean?
It might have been like, oh, we're coming to get you, with the implication of taking him away, and or staying, but they can't stay, so he can come or he can stay.
Yes, but I just don't think that the text ever really suggests or wrestles with that.
No, it's the implication.
You know, no, but I would even say it's implication.
It's like
I would
the
say
being on the boat, the implication.
Intended implications to me are, if not text, at least subtext. This, what you're describing, isn't even subtext. Like,
no, because why? What other implication would there be? Why else would an alien race come down?
Just because something is logical doesn't mean it's actually there thematically. Sometimes you still need to put in the ingredients.
Yes, I suppose. But I'm saying it's not like
like sometimes you have to do the obligatory mention of something. Because just because something is obvious or logical doesn't make it Like you're not wielding it as part of the thematic offering.
I guess I just think of Chicken Little and how like, oh, one of our own we left behind, so now we're gonna, because they say like, oh, you were lost to us, right? So it's like,
But we don't get that till the end. That's what I'm saying.
But it's like, oh, we're gonna come get you, and they're like, are you there? Like,
I think the film.
we're gonna come get you.
But again, I think that's not really part of the thematic ideas of the film.
Whatever.
And now that we're talking about it, I feel like maybe that's because, even though like it's not really a mystery, but it's like they really didn't want to like confirm Gonzo's like they didn't want to confirm these aliens exist until they show up at Cape Doom in the little egg thing, or it's not the egg. The egg is like the little light, like the little thing, so they can know where to land or whatever. Right? So because of that, like they don't want to do more scenes exploring this because they want to have this unresolved, not thematic question, but plot question. Like, is Gonzo just crazy? You know what I mean? And that comes at the expense of like this.
Well, yes, that's why they don't show up exactly. That's why they're running on Central Time and they show up like an hour later. Because then it's like, oh, they didn't come when you said that they would come. So you're just crazy, as opposed to them getting there and them already.
Do they say that? Is that the reason why it's sent there on the wrong time zone?
No,
I've never clocked that.
No, I'm just
because he does say we'll arrive at midnight. They say explicitly.
Yeah.
And then it's like 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, that's why I said it. It's a joke. It's a
no, but is that not a joke? Is that the point? Why they're late?
It's a self-imposed reasoning.
Okay, I didn't know if they said that in the movie, like, oh, we were, like,
No. I mean, they are coming from space, so I don't know. Anyways.
There are no times, as we learned from Einstein, time is relative. There's no time zones in space.
The point is that they could have showed up to the beach and them already be there. So that supports what you were saying in terms of the plot.
Yeah. Again, like, they want to kind of drag this out. For what have you. Because they almost do like this fake out theme thing where it's like it's a no-show, and Gonzo's like, it's a no-show. Like, I don't know. The movie.
Well, it just goes along with everyone not believing him.
That makes sense. It's again, this movie. It's my comfort film.
Is this the first introduction to Pepe?
No, but in the films, yes, I believe he was on that show. He was on a '90s Muppet show called Muppets Tonight. Which is basically modeled after like late night talk show. So again, it was geared towards more like adult is the wrong word because we think of like adult being like, oh, so there was like sex and swearing. It was geared a little more towards an adult audience, and they would do kind of like what they would like, harkening back to the Muppet Show where they would do like covers of songs. So probably the most famous one they ever did was Kermit doing a Once in a Lifetime cover, and he has like the big jacket, like the Talking Heads like big shoulder jacket. And it's Kermit doing it's really funny. I believe Pepe was on that show. I believe. But this is his first.
Because Pepe is so funny, okay.
Pepe is so funny, okay. I love Pepe. Again, this is like the most. I don't know if I wrote it down, but Pepe, Rizzo, and Gonzo are the most 90s. Like they're such a funny trio. Like again, we talked about Rizzo being like. It makes sense that Rizzo. Like, Gonzo obviously was conceived in the 70s and then Rizzo in the 80s, but, like, Rizzo especially has, like, the most 90s energy of, like, kind of being, like, the wisecracking, like, not, like, nothing is sacred, nothing, like, everything's kind of, like, a joke. And Gonzo is, because he's just so weird, kind of also fits into that, and then Pepe, like, it's, like, they're, like, the perfect, like, main trio. Even though they're not really a trio, it's really Gonzo and Rizzo, and then Rizzo and Pepe, like two different duos that share a number of the duo. But no, so that's the thing with this movie is that like I'm gonna be interested to see what score I give it because part of me is like my gut is like a 7 out of 10. But I'm like, is this one of my favorite movies ever? Like. Think so just by default because it's such a foundational movie for me. And because there's plenty of movies that I watched a bunch when I was a kid and I don't really care for, or I think that they're fine. But this still kind of scratches something for me. So I'm like, would that make it an 8? Like, is that like, because an 8 or an above to me is like one of my favorite films. So I'm like, I don't really know, but I'm very aware. I don't have rose-colored glasses on. I think what works. But I think what doesn't work, right? I can be analytical about it. But yeah, Gonzo finally gets the spotlight, like we were saying. Gonzo is trans.
What?
Gonzo is trans. That's my theory. Well, here's the thing: is that this is
I guess
100% me projecting into the text. No one making the film would have thought that or said that, and that was not the intention at all. But it's a useful analogy in a sense. And apparently, again, they redid a reboot of Muppet Babies. I think they've alluded to that, where at least he cross-dresses.
Oh.
Where there's an episode where he wears a dress, but it's not a joke. It's just like, I just feel more comfortable in this dress or whatever. In this moment.
Okay.
Which of course made people be like, they made the Muppets woke! They made them woke! And it's like, what do you care? He's not even human.
He's just a doll.
But no, like in this, like you could say like just a larger queer kind of reading, right? Like he just feels like there's something different.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand what.
Yeah.
And I didn't write it down because it wasn't really funny, and I already found like better reviews. But someone did kind of on Letterboxd analogize this. I mean, you know what? I may as well just find it now. Someone analogized this
That
with
makes sense.
being queer, and I was like, very interesting. Like, because I was thinking that when we were watching it.
I can see that though, because it feels like that a lot of times, right? It can feel like that. Very isolating. Like, especially if like people around you don't understand.
But they're like the perfect allies because literally when they're going to Cape Doom, Kermit is like, if you think that they're coming,
Yeah.
then we're gonna be there for you. And that was the moment that felt the most like okay, this is how you could come at it with a queer reading. Like if you were to make a video and say this would be the scene you would show, the basically unconditional support of them. So the review was from Thomas Day saying, quote, "The way that this reflects the queer experience is insane and on the nail. We'll revisit this."
We will revisit.
But so I was thinking that. Let's see. I just have a bunch of random notes here. I'm trying to like move, have things be a little more connected instead of just being like. And then I also thought this one, but focusing on the Gonzo thing. This is the first, again, theatrical, first Muppet movie to actually have a Muppet main character since Muppets Take Manhattan.
Oh wow.
In 1984. So it's been 15 years.
Oh wow.
And again, I like this because even if they weren't the main characters, the issue with Christmas Carol and Treasure Island is that they're not them. They're not themselves. They're the Muppets putting on a production of Christmas Carol or Treasure Island.
Yeah.
So this is the first one where it's like, you can argue that Kermit died in 1990 because Jim Henson died. And like, this is a different character in a sense. But for all intents and purposes, like we actually get to develop the dynamics between these characters as we understand them to be these characters. Right? I'm still a little unclear, like because again, these movies are not really in the same continuity. Like the implication that we get from the Jason Segel Muppets is that like the Muppet movie is a movie that they made. I mean, we even get that in the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
But like the Muppet movie is a movie within a movie because that movie is framed with like, oh, we made a movie.
Yeah.
But I think in the Muppets 2011, the movie that Kermit is talking about would be the movie you and I have seen.
Oh my god.
So it's like, so my point is, it's not really useful to try to be like, well, wait, how does this fit into the continuity or whatever? But like, they never talk about doing the Muppet Show, being performers even. Like, the implication is just like, they just live together in this big house.
Yeah.
And by the way, all the opening stuff in the house is great. I love the opening section with Brick House.
So silly.
Because we get to see all of them hanging out and whatever. Yeah, with Gonzo, I feel sad though. And again, it makes me feel sad for queer people. Because in the beginning, another reading, literally, the opening scene. I wrote this note down, and this wasn't about a queer reading, but I'm about to make it into it.
Okay.
literally. So the opening scene is like a nightmare he's having where he's like trying to get onto Noah's Ark. But there's only one of him, so Noah's like, you are doomed! It always made me really sad even as a kid when he's like, no! I don't want to be alone! And he's screaming into the sky. Yeah. It made me sad even as a kid. I was like, poor Gonzo. Yeah. Literally, he's being rejected from the tent, from mainstream society, because he doesn't fit into a binary. Literally.
Oh my frick. It'd be like that sometimes.
Right, but again, like, you gotta give this movie credit, even with my issues with his character arc, quote unquote. At least there is an attempt to have a character arc. Like there is like a character and a story to tell here, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. I relate. He's alone. I felt alone for a long time.
Can we talk about the ridiculous scene where he's looking at all the family pictures and everyone's with their family? And then an absurdly, like Lawrence of Arabia style wide shot, and he's like a tiny little dot on the beach by himself.
It's not even just like a school picture of him or like just like a portrait, just like by
They were
himself.
like, what's the loneliest
It's
picture
like,
we could take?
On the beach
of
by
this
himself,
whatever.
like 50 feet away.
I wonder, has any other Muppet material expanded? Like, okay, he's an alien, but like, is there a specific name for their race of people?
I don't know. Also,
this movie 100% does not.
Also, if he was lost to them and doesn't remember them, how does he know his name? Because his name is Gonzo, but then his dad's name is like Zonzo or something. Like,
and they call him Gonzo.
Yeah.
So they know his name is Gonzo.
Was that just happening?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. The answer is that they didn't think of it.
Kid, it's not that kind of movie.
It's not that kind of movie. If people are thinking about that, we're in big trouble. But yeah, this movie is, I think, aside from the music, I think if you were going to point to something superficial as like the thing that makes this movie work, I would say it's the humor. Mm-hmm. Like, not so much the music. Though the music's a great add-on.
It's silly.
But it's really funny.
I don't know. This humor hits.
Fetch me the remote. The goat? The remote. But what makes it funny is what comes next. Oh, the remote. I thought he said the goat. That's what makes it funny. Is the under the breath reaction afterward.
The thing for me is that he says it into the intercom, but then
he calls out.
But then he calls out from the other room, like he's like, wait, like I can't like say it into the It's like the goat. He's like, no, the remote.
See, this is why filmmaking is
and why
important.
is he just eating a sandwich?
His fingers are all sticky, yeah. This is why filmmaking, understanding how it works is important. Because so many people take things for granted. And, like, it's not like I'm like, I was blind to this, and now I see it. Like, it's not really that big of a revelation. Let's give you an example. What makes that work is the fact that... What's the bear's... What's even his name? I forget. I always forget what his name is.
I don't know. He says it a few times, but I don't remember.
But the fact that he's not mic'd up. Like, the audio, it's, like, from far away.
Yeah.
That's what makes it funny. Is like he's calling out from the other room and the microphone is by Jeffrey Tambor. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, but like the goat, and like the way it reverb, but see that's a filmmaking choice that people I just take for granted. But like that's what makes it funny.
I don't know. There's just...
It wouldn't be funny if he just said the goat, but it sounded like he was right there. Like, what makes it funny is that there's like a pause. Like, he's like, do I want to ask? Like, the goat?
Or the thing with the HMO.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Gonzo's trying to, like, put off the brain extraction.
The brain extraction surgery. He's like, I don't know if it's covered by my HMO.
He's like, it's okay, you have a $10
copay. See, that's what I mean. Where the movie feels like it's geared a little bit of a higher age group.
Sorry.
Again, there's references to things. Again, the soundtrack makes me feel like it's meant for almost like a Gen X audience. Like
maybe, yeah. Or
like this is a movie you watch in college when you're really high and you're eating pizza. Like that's what this feels like to me.
Or like
a reference to the Muppet movie because the instant grow pills are also he goes it's a little berry.
oh, is that true?
And
Okay.
so that's a reference to that.
That's
movie,
funny.
when he says it in
And
this.
he's like, the old
Invisible spray to rubber ducky trick.
trick.
That's so funny. And then they spray themselves, but then Fozzie washes his hands, and
like-
Kermit's like.
Always wash your hands.
Kermit's like, Fozzie, please tell me you didn't wash your hands. Like, Mom always says, always wash your hands. Yes, but not when you're using invisibility spray. Mom said, no exceptions. and they're able to use like the CGI, so it's just his hands, and he's like, I obviously you can't see it, viewers, listeners, but he's making like a hand motion, like no exceptions.
Oh my god, it's so
Also,
silly.
something I noticed here, and again, maybe it's just because again this is like my original Muppet movie, so I'm really used to it and all of its contours and its performances and everything. But let me see what you think of this. This seems and feels like Steve Whitmire is the most comfortable in the role since he took over as Kermit.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah. That makes sense.
You know? And I feel even though he's not the central character, like I feel like has a much bigger role here. Mm-hmm. I mean, argue with Treasure Island, but again, he's not playing Kermit. He's playing Kermit, who's playing the captain.
Yeah.
Like,
well, in that, I feel like he has more in this than that. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't really in that as well.
the voice. Like, again, it might just be because I'm used to this version of Kermit because I watched this movie a bunch. So I'm like, of course it seems the most natural.
Yeah.
But it feels like he's just, both his physicality as the performer, but also his voice, it feels like he finally has settled into, like, I'm me and I'm not, like, I'm doing Kermit, I'm not doing Jim Henson. Mm-hmm. That at a certain point... He was Kermit for a long time. He was Kermit from 1990 to 2016.
Oh, wow.
So he was Kermit for like a quarter century.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would say so, because I think, like, with Steve, there's something about it, but, like, Kermit seems more, like, stilted or, like a little more, like, stoic or, like, held back. But, like, he's starting to do more of, like, the silliness of Kermit. And like,
and you're saying that's a good thing, that like he felt a little restrained before, but
that
or you saying that Kermit is
feels-
always supposed to be restrained?
he feels comfortable enough to like actually be Kermit and like you know he is the straight man and he is supposed to be the voice of reason or whatever, but sometimes he loses his shit and he does like the little. I love when he
cheers, he goes.
I love when he has hands just up in the air and then like they're just like wiggling back and forth.
Yes, that's the iconic.
Because like with humans, like we can't really
Used in many a Teams or Slack chat as like a reaction.
Yeah,
GIF.
like with humans we can't do it because like our arms kind of become like
we have
straight.
Because we have bones.
Yeah,
in our arms,
but
whereas
then
he's
like
just-
his are like literally like little S's and they just like go back and forth and he's like "Ah!" and it's
Exactly.
fucking hilarious.
it's hilarious.
So I'm
Yeah.
happy for him in that regard. Mm-hmm. Because beforehand, like there just seemed to be less energy. And it's
Because
difficult.
he was trepidatious.
It's difficult to describe because it's comparing times of just like regularness and not like a freak out or like something more boisterous. But there's just like something about it where even when Kermit was being like the straight man and the voice of reason or whatever, just being calm and talking with Jim, there was like some type of energy behind it still. But then like with Steve, like with the tribute to Jim Henson, and then like a little while after, like in Treasure Island, almost said Planet, there's like something reserved about it, like something, there's not as much energy behind it, and it's really weird to notice because it's not something that is easily
verbalized, or at least for me, like I'm having trouble doing it. But yeah, so seeing that, it makes me happy for Steve. Good job,
Yes,
Steve.
good job, Steve.
Good job, Steve.
He's very funny in this. And you know who else is really funny? Jeffrey Tambor. Apparently he's canceled because he maybe said or did something to a woman on a set or something, but...
Oh, no!
But he's so funny.
Why are people
and this
always
going
being
back
creepers?
to the... Well...
Stop being creepers!
This is good because we're going back to the roots. Muppet main characters, human villain, and all the other humans are just like cameos. Like it's not like an extensive human cast.
Yeah.
But no, he's so funny. He brings like a certain like manic energy to it.
I mean, I don't know if this is at the same time.
Like the remote gag wouldn't work if it wasn't his reaction to it. The remote.
Well, I would say this is like Whoville all over again, but this was beforehand, so
A year before.
yeah. So I don't know if the filming overlapped or anything, but this was giving Mayor vibes when he like loses it. He's like, "Don't laugh at me," and I'm just thinking of when the cop pulls him out of bed and he's like,
And find the bridge and destroy Christmas. Yeah.
Find the bridge, destroy Christmas.
Yeah, it's...
So it's just pretty funny.
You're kind of doing like the guy who's only ever seen The Boss Baby. Like, you're like, it's giving me Mayor of Whoville vibes. It's like the two films you've seen with him in it.
They're very similar characters.
I see. Yeah. Look at the "Are you there?" The message from the. Now this one says "Are you 3?" But we believe that to just be a simple spelling error. Why are the space fish Indian?
I don't know.
Like, we are cosmic fish.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine those voice actors were of South Asian descent. I just have a hard time believing that.
I don't know why, but it's just so funny. But also, if someone is offended, I'm so sorry because I didn't
Relax, liberals. It's called dark humor.
I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand like the importation of like a culture, I guess, fully until
It's not. This isn't their culture. They're just cosmic fish.
No, I know, but like until seeing like the like American pavilion or whatever of like Japan, and it's just kind of weird to have like your culture be like a theme. I don't know. So if the voices like with like a poo and everything, like, you know, I'm sorry, but it is. But it is funny.
Viviana is formally apologizing on behalf of white people everywhere. Apologizing.
I don't know if I'm apologizing for y'all, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just funny. I don't know. I know it can be pejorative. I'm so sorry, but it's why are they fish in space?
It's incredible.
Why are they?
It's incredible. It's a great little space sequence with Gonzo flying through like cosmic clouds, and it's like, you know, they're able to, again, like we talked about this a little bit with Christmas Carol, but like, you know, being able to use, I mean, green screen existed, but being able to use like these keying effects, to enhance the puppetry, that's cool. Okay, again, we said this when we were watching it, surprisingly well lit and shot.
Yeah,
but then I also remember that the most average looking movie from 1999 looks better than most things today because like film is just always going to look better. But again, if you were a cinematographer, you needed to know how to shoot and light a scene.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can kind of just like workshop it on the day because you have the monitor. Mm-hmm. And I think because of that, we have a lot of we just have a lot of mediocre cinematographers. Mm-hmm. Because they just don't have to be expert. Like every cinematographer needed to be an expert. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, there was the effect of that was that it was kind of gatekept because you needed the education and the training, and you maybe right. So it's good that we have this option. But that being said, it then makes, you know, it's easier. It's a muscle you don't have to stretch. Mm-hmm. Why would you bother remembering this shit if the computer in the camera will do it for you? Mm. Be like, oh, like why? Like, you know what I mean?
I guess so. Yeah.
But I was thinking that it was well lit, and they look very.
Again, it's hard to do with the Muppets.
World. Yeah, they look very of the world. They don't look like copy and pasted on top of our world, or like just like injected into it.
Because sometimes I see modern Muppet content, and it just feels like when someone will do like a puppet or like a Muppet spoof. Like as like a YouTube sketch.
Sure.
And they'll just like have a puppet.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's lit like that. This like is very is I think well done.
It seems very real. Like they I don't know, they seem a part of that space.
And I think that's in no small part to the puppetry work. I don't know if it's just the scenarios because we're seeing them like at normal places like a kitchen table. But like the Muppets, they feel like they move way more realistically in this. Like at one part, it looked like so like if you're in a chair at a table and you leave, you like put your hands on the table and you kind of like push the chair out.
Yeah.
And then you stand up. Kermit did that. But Kermit doesn't have real hands. So he has no hands to use force to push
muscles
off.
and bones.
Yeah, like there's no. So I was like, how did they? I mean, it's probably not that complicated. But my point is like, there's like little details that help with that in ways like you're not thinking actively about it. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just so funny.
It's a funny movie. Do you want to hear some trivia?
Sure.
Okay, because after this, I need to edit this episode, and then I need to eat dinner.
Oh.
And we may or may not watch Zodiac, depending on what time it is.
Okay.
So here's some pieces of trivia. The film marked the first appearance of Scooter since the theme park attraction Muppet Vision 3D. Probably voiced appearance.
Oh, I think you said that, didn't you?
Right, because Richard Hunt.
Also, I noticed Bean was in this.
He gets squashed by Miss Piggy.
How silly. We're still trying to make Bean happen.
Well, I think I feel like they're not trying to make Bean happen because he gets squashed and that's like the last time you see him. His voice was performed in Muppets from Space by Adam Hunt, the brother of Scooter's initial performer, Richard Hunt.
Oh.
That's nice.
You're both puppeteers?
Maybe not. Maybe he was just voiced by his brother.
You're both voice actors?
Maybe. I don't even know if he's a voice actor. It may have just been because his voice is somewhat similar,
brother.
so it's like, can you be him?
Fuck AIDS.
Muppets. Fuck. You know what? Hot take. If you unfollow because I say this, that's on you. Fuck AIDS.
But like not even like in a silly way, like like obviously AIDS is bad, like any like life-threatening disease or whatever. But it's just like it's so simple. It's so simple.
It's so true.
Just stop being homophobic and start talking to your sexual partners. Like it's that simple.
Yeah,
and now
they're talking body.
Now we have PrEP. Now we have PEP.
Tuvlo would say.
Now we have medication. But it really...
This is a PSA. If you're listening to this, stop putting it off. Go get tested.
But really, it was just a spread of AIDS because people were homophobic. And I'm like, can you just stop? Can you just not?
Yeah.
Can we please? This is something simple that we can, handle nowadays. We couldn't handle it back then, but now we have medication. And people can actually live very long and fulfilling lives. It's like, it's not even there.
It's so, honey, it's so true.
You equals you.
You equals you.
Yes, the undetectable. You could be undetectable.
Undetectable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I detect more trivia.
Oh, okay.
So, Muppets from Space was the first Muppet film, presumably they mean theatrical, not to feature original music. That actually might be just all of them. Like, they've all been like musicals.
Yeah.
or not even musicals, even if they're diegetic. Like, this is the first Muppet film not to feature original music, opting instead for a soundtrack consisting primarily of classic soul and funk tracks.
And it works so well.
And it works. I don't remember "and it works" being part of that trivia. That's an amendment.
And it works so well.
In an earlier draft, we're moving on from your silliness. Like I said,
I only said one
I have to edit this, and then I need to make dinner, and then we need to watch Zodiac. Okay. An earlier draft of the story was written by Kirk Thatcher called Muppets in Space. In the screenplay, aliens abducted Kermit because they believed him to be their leader, leading the other Muppets to attempt to save him.
Oh, that would be silly.
That'd be kind of funny.
That would be silly.
When asked about his experience 10 years after the film's release, co-writer Joseph Mazzarino revealed that he left the production before shooting started, due to changes made to his draft of the screenplay. He stated that his draft included parodies of Men in Black, Contact, both of which came out in 1997. Alien from 1979, and that Randall Kleiser had been selected to direct the film. He was a director. I think he directed Grease, of all things. However, shortly before shooting began, the Jim Henson Company fired Kleiser as they felt he was not, quote unquote, bringing enough vision.
Oh.
How much vision can you be bringing to Muppets in Space? And hired Timothy Hill as the new director. The parodies were removed as Hill wanted the film to be more real, quote unquote.
Yes, we already have those films, and they're great. And then, well, at least Men in Black. It's so silly. Also with funny talking shrimp-like characters.
I am not a baby shrimp. I am a king prawn. Bab the sheep was voiced by 11-year-old Christina Donnelly, who got the opportunity through a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Given a choice between acting in a Muppet film, presumably like as a human, and voicing a puppet of her own, she chose the puppet. Near the end of her time filming, Steve Whitmire and Dave Goelz presented her with a special edition of the Hensonville News Observer, which is like a fake paper that Kermit's reading in the movie.
Oh.
Hensonville News Observer, and a bag full of Muppets merchandise. She also kept the puppet she voiced. After filming was completed, Christina Donnelly died from Ewing's sarcoma on November 7, 1999. Well, if you're on Make-A-Wish, you're you know.
Oh, my frick.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Oh.
Oh.
Well, when did this come out? So she got
in
to
July.
see it,
She
right?
got to see it.
Oh.
Thank goodness. This is the last Muppets movie to have Frank Oz's direct involvement. Oz was not available for most of production, kind of like the last time. So substitute performers performed his characters, and Oz dubbed the voices during post-production. But then going forward, like, he's not even doing the voices for things, I believe. Katie Holmes and Joshua Jackson had cameos because Dawson's Creek was being filmed on a neighboring soundstage. So that's why there's like random ass cameo
so
where they're playing themselves, like, or not themselves. They're playing
characters.
their Dawson's Creek characters,
Yeah.
which I've never watched. It's kind of like a teen soap opera kind of thing, right? It's like higher production value. It's not like a soap opera, but like
I can't remember if I've seen
it's like a teen drama.
I know I've seen One Tree Hill, but I don't know if I've seen Dawson.
Yeah, One Tree. It's like that same kind of ilk, right?
Yeah.
In the DVD commentary, which I did not know that this was on, the DVD commentary, which includes a handful of the Muppets in character, which kind of reminds me of the VeggieTales fake commentary for Lord of the Beans. Kermit the Frog says he's walking away to go to the snack bar near the beginning of the thing and doesn't come back until just as the movie is ending. He claims that he was delayed by walking back into the wrong DVD commentary, that of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
What?
Which came out the same year. While promoting The Muppets, which came out in 2011 in Germany, Kermit told, of course Kermit, not Steve Whitmire, Kermit, told Energy Berlin 103.4, which I presume is like a radio station, that, quote, with all due respect to The Muppets from Space, you don't want that to be the last movie you ever do. You want to do a better one, end quote.
What?
So that was explaining why they were making a new one. They were like, kind of throwing it under the bus.
Blasphemy.
Well, again, this is the last theatrical Muppet movie for 12 years.
Yeah.
So, again, it kind of killed the brand. Because then they made some direct-to-video things, and then shortly after, in 2004, Disney buys it. Who then proceeds to make more direct-to-video things. So, like, again, this is like, for a lot of people, this is rock bottom.
Well, you know what?
Financially, it is. 100% financially.
When you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up.
That's true.
And this rock bottom looks pretty funny, so it's pretty
and then this last bit, I told you how they rushed the production. Do you want some critical reception?
Huh? Yeah.
You are very unfocused right now. I'm trying to run a tight ship here. I'll say something and you'll be like, oh, see, people, you need to take prep because, people are dying.
It's so important. You have to take prep.
I know, but I'm hungry. And I'm hungry both for food and for good David Fincher goodness. Rotten Tomatoes has a 63%. So not even 63 out of 100. It means only 63% gave it a net positive.
People, come on.
Well, why don't you read the critical consensus?
You're acting like my family and actively rejecting joy.
That's them.
If Muppets from Space lacks the magic and wit of its cinematic predecessors, this pleasingly silly space romp is funny and clever enough to make for better than average family entertainment. I don't know who said that, but
that was a
correct.
That was written by Rotten Tomatoes to kind
the
of
consent. Perfect.
See, it's a silly space romp. Funny and clever.
They're not saying it's bad. They're just saying.
Well, I don't understand how 37. No, what?
Yeah, 37% of people gave it a net negative.
How 37% of people
Over a third
could just have a
couldn't even just say it was okay.
negative experience.
You know what?
Not
'Cause
even.
they're haters on it. They're haters.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Uh,
Sometimes, honey, there's horrors in this world that we just can't begin to
even
fathom.
if you're not a fan of the movie, you still like the funk. Surely you like funk, right? People love
That
funk.
feels like a funk lyric. Even if you don't like the movie, you gotta still at least love the funk.
Right? Don't people love funk? Funk is so funky and awesome.
Funk is so funky.
But
That's so true.
yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Was it the cosmic fish? Was that really the hang up?
It was probably no. I
Or
have no
was it
idea.
the talking
I
sandwich?
think it was just
It might have been the talking sandwich with the peanut butter and pickles and banana or whatever.
They were like, I loved this movie until I saw that ghastly culinary creation.
Or like a kind of like one that flew over the cuckoo's nest, kind of like rat labs, like you got like the different characters.
Well, why don't I read some critic reviews from the time to give you a sense of what people thought instead of I'm hungry.
Okay, and the dad from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, how silly. Okay,
David Arquette, yeah.
let's go.
Oh my frick! It's not that you can't
And
say.
Hulk Hogan and Ray Liotta. How
It's
random!
It's called the Muppet movie. So
How
there's
random
cameos.
and silly.
I know.
That's random and silly.
It's random and silly. It's not only just random. Like if it was random, I could handle it, but silly too. Too much. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film a 2-star rating out of 4, and wrote, "Quote: Somehow Muppets from Space seemed a little disconsolate, a little low in energy, as if the ship or the Ark had sailed." End quote. You're like, Roger.
You know nothing of cinema, Robert. Roger.
Well, he famously gave the Phantom Menace like a 4 out of 4 or something. Like he was like the biggest. He was like the most prominent person to give it like a glowing review, and he got so much shit for the rest of his life. And he was like, "I stand by it. That's a fun movie." Anyway, conversely, okay, so to your mind here. Conversely, Robin Rousey of the Los Angeles Times gave the film a positive review, stating that, quote, 20 years after the Muppet movie and 30 after the beginning of Sesame Street, there is still life in these creations of felt, foam rubber, and fake fur. With care, they will easily entertain and educate a third or fourth generation of children. The magic is back. End quote.
See, magic.
Objectively, the magic was not back because, again, they did not make any more movies for 12 years and a buyout.
Well,
so,
okay. I mean,
if people were hoping finally now this is a return to form for Muppets, it was stopped in its tracks.
I guess we can all agree that it did not collectively bring together the Muppets, the brand, the company of it, if you will. But it is just fun. It's fun.
It's just
Can't we just have fun?
No. Michael Wilmington, reviewing for the Chicago Tribune, praised the puppeteer's performance, but remarked, quote, "This picture isn't goofy or dreamy enough. However engaging it may be to re-encounter the intrigues of Miss Piggy, the wistfulness of Kermit, or the weirdness of Gonzo, or relax into the period funk soundtrack, including the OJ Survival, Earth, Wind & Fire, Shining Star, and many others." End quote.
I think people in Chicago are just don't understand.
I know. Trump should send in the National Guard. They need to clean up that city. If this is the kind of
They just don't
cinematic
understand.
rhetoric that they're producing,
They just don't understand funny cinema.
they just don't understand, honey. In terms of minor reaction, the Letterboxd is a 3.38 out of 5. So not as low as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Right? And here's some funny reviews. Chris Way, in a 5-star review, writes, "I don't know what you people want out of this movie that you're not getting." I feel that's kind of you.
Yeah, goofier, and not goofy and not dreamy enough. He literally goes to space and talks to giant fish. What more are you hoping
They're not
for?
giant fish. They're just Indian. They're the same size as him.
Well, they look kind of large. They're plump fish.
Well, they're big for fish, but they're not giant compared to him.
Well, sometimes they do because
Like, they're Muppet proportion is what I'm saying.
yeah. Sometimes they look a lot bigger because he's like, I don't know.
It is weird. 'cause with
The
green
force
screen,
perception,
Perspective. Persephone.
What do you want to eat? Perspective.
You know what I want to eat? Anything. So I'm gonna keep going. Rebecca writes, "Oh, to live in the Muppets frat house. ...
It really is.
It is a frat house.
It's so silly and it's so weird.
Like they all live together. It's like this multi-story house. It's like 3 stories high. It looks like a frat house. Now that
It's like falling apart.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kermit's having to like do.
And then the kitchen
Like
gets fucked up, so he's like, "Change of the menu. Today's breakfast is bologna sandwiches."
But we have no bread.
But with no bread. So then Rizzo comes in with a big plate of bologna. Branson Reese writes, "Pretty funny that they retconned the 'I'm going to go back there someday' sequence from the Muppet movie. You know that sad song he sings in the desert? Mm-hmm. Pretty funny that they retconned the 'I'm going to go back there someday' sequence from the Muppet movie, changing it from a melancholy interlude of unexpected yearning, and instead made it so that Gonzo is related to Parliament Funkadelic." That's the thing that made me laugh. And for listeners, Parliament, again, had very space themey, and their album, one of the songs famously, "We want the funk." You got that funk.
Ow.
I have a little piece of info here. I put it under the legacy section, but I didn't really know where else to put it. In 2000, so not long after the movie came out, Frank Oz stated that the film was not, quote, up to what it should have been, end quote. And, quote, not the movie that we wanted it to be, end quote.
You didn't make the time to be there, so be quiet. Frank.
All right, Viviana, favorite part? Scene, character, actor, line, what?
I'm gonna say the soundtrack and all the songs.
What?
Because it really moves it.
You really love the soundtrack.
I know.
Jeez Louise.
I
You gotta love that funk. Ow.
Gotta have that funk. Ow.
But then also it is silly. It is so funny.
It is so silly. It is so funny.
There are no cannolis here. Yeah, but this cake is great. Who ate the cake? Who ate this cake?
Who cut the cake?
Who cut this cake? With literally chocolate on his lips.
See, like, this is why this movie's like, it's a foundational text for me, because there's so many things like I quote or want to quote from this movie, but I can't because people like aren't gonna understand what I'm talking about.
I say just be yourself.
Just be yourself,
Just
right?
do it.
What's my favorite part?
Do it.
I don't know. I'm too hungry to think.
See, I just made 3 different references.
Can you shut the fuck up, please?
Okay. Yeah. What's your favorite part?
Yeah, you don't want to hear. You're not sitting your caramel
You're-
ass down and listening.
You are just rushing it.
I'm not rushing it. You'd be like, "I like the soundtrack. Ooh, you want the funk?" You just like have a bunch of vocal stimming.
It's my favorite part. Okay.
It's my favorite part of the movie. Okay. See, people get mad about the Indian fish, but no one cares about the Mexican shrimp.
I thought he was Cuban. Is he Mexican?
Maybe he's Cuban. I don't know. Maybe he's Cuban, but Latino, Latinx.
Pepe.
I don't know what my favorite part is, honestly. I think this is really broad, but I think I like just getting to see these characters' dynamics in this setting of like they're just like Muppets, just hanging out, living in the house together. And I don't just mean the scenes in the house, but I just mean like the fact that we get to like actually have the Muppets as these characters again after so long of not getting that. I think that's really special. You know, because again, then when we get to the Jason Segel Muppets, like they're not really the focus either. They kind of are, but like the Jason Segel and his Muppet brother are like really the main characters. So this is nice because we get like a focus on like the Muppets and their like interpersonal kind of things, right?
Being all together.
Yeah.
Can I just read this one thing? Okay, so this is from the Disney Wiki.
Okay.
Pepe is a Muppet prawn who speaks with a Spanish accent and loves to flirt with beautiful women. He was born as Pepino Rodrigo Serrano Gonzalez in Malaga, Spain.
Oh, so he's not even.
So
he's not even.
Spanish.
Oh man. So that makes it okay. We can impersonate him. It's okay. He's white. He's white.
White.
Spanish or white? Come on. Again, like we talked about with generations, race is also a made-up construct. So like,
I have been told that the Spanish speak in a weird way, and that it's kind of like the Queen's English for us. That it's like
they have a different
proper and,
accent.
like,
yeah. I mean, they have like a little lisp, depending on what region.
Yeah,
it's
they have
from.
like
so
a
they say
little
like
lisp.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
I learned that when I went to Spain. In school trip. Okay, Viviana. The time has come. 1 to 10. Don't look at your ranking because I don't want you to go, oh, well, I can't put it above this because Peter will yell at me. You shouldn't look at the ranking first. You should come up with what score you think makes sense, and then you look at the ranking to place it. 1 to 10. What are you giving Muppets from Space?
I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8?
And I'm here with 2 other 8s. I got The Muppets Take Manhattan and Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. And I
think we know where this is going.
I feel like cinematically it should be below Emmett Otter, but then I think about, what Peter says about all the subjectivity and all that bullshit.
Yeah, this is your personal ranking.
And so I gotta say Muppets from Space might take number 1. Even though I do frequent Emmett Otter more.
Well, that's easy because it's shorter and it's Christmas themed.
And it's for the holidays, right? We're always watching movies during Christmas time.
Yeah.
So
okay, so wow, an 8. For me, again, this is like the conflict I brought up earlier. Like, I think if I wasn't partial to this, I would give it a 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I am partial to it. Fuck it, life's too short. This isn't a law. I'm giving it an 8 as well.
what?
It does not deserve an 8, but I think for me it just represents, it's just so foundational for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the question. It definitely goes below Emmett Otter, but does it go above or below the Muppets Celebrate Jim Henson? I really liked that. But I think I'm going to put this above just by nature of this being like its own thing, whereas that's really a clip show.
Yeah.
But it's such an interesting clip show.
But
it's an interesting
narrative.
clip show.
We do value narrative. But
it's a good clip show. It just doubles as like a Jim Henson retrospective.
Yeah.
So no, but I'll put this above just because I have like way more of a sentimental attachment. So this is my number 3 and your number 1. Again, if someone else was making a list, no one would put Muppets from Space this high.
Gonna have that funk. Ow.
Ow. We want the funk.
Hey, gonna have that funk.
All right. Well, I think
Brick house.
I think that's it. Listeners, you can probably hear my nose. I'm getting to the point of this cold where I have a runny nose, so it really started in like the last couple of hours. So I think that's it for this week's episode of Now That's What I Call a Franchise. Next week, we're watching the next film in the franchise, the 2002 film Kermit's Swamp Years. Viviana, where can they find us?
What? Y'all can find us wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to follow us on social media.
And if you have the time, leave a rating for us on Apple Podcasts, because apparently that helps.
And if you have even more time, leave us a review too.
We know you have many podcasting options, and we thank you for choosing us. Peace out, guys.
Later, gators.